end of the third, early fourth to flip that game?
You know, the credit goes to Maslin. You know, usually, you know, what you saw today is typically our formula. You know, we bury teams at some point in a game, and we got them down 15. Our kids kept on playing. Our kids that knew that Maslin would not quit, and to their kids' credit, they kept on coming at us, and we got a little. We stopped scoring the basketball for a stretch of time, and you know, they did some things that we knew they were going to do. They're a straight line drive team. They're going to take it to the basket, try to get to the free throw line, and they did that. And you know, but our kids kept on playing, and you know, we just went through a cold stretch. We went through a cold stretch right there after we got that 15-point lead where we didn't score the basketball, and they did, and I think they cut it to 8 going into the fourth quarter. And, you know, you just tip your cap to them, and this loss does not define who we are. I think the effort defines who these kids are. I think the resilience defines who these kids are, but the loss itself doesn't define who we are.
How much did you look at this going into the game as kind of a mirror images sort of, or at least more similar probably than different? Was that kind of your thought once you knew that's who you were going to play?
Yeah, no, it was. You're exactly right, David. It was like looking in a mirror in terms of their style of play. You know, we knew coming into the game that we were going to have to guard the basketball. We knew we were going to have to guard the arc. We knew we were going to have to get back in transition. You know, and I thought the kids did that. You know, I thought the kids did that for the most part. We just had a couple of stretches where they made some plays. You know, the game was played at a tempo that we like. The game was played at a speed that we like. And, you know, I'm looking at the stats. 15, let's see where we are. 15 of 15 from, or 15 of 25 from the free throw line. You know, that we probably could have made a few more of those. But, you know, rebounding wise, let's see, 41, okay, 53. So we did a good job of rebounding the ball today, which is always a key for us. You know, both teams made the same amount of free throws. You know, it came down to a couple of possessions. Their kids made some plays, and so did our guys. But no, you're right, Dave. It was like two mirror images playing against each other.
For Elijah and Tony, you know, looking at the stat sheet, one thing that does stand out is the field goal percentage, and I know it's kind of hard to convert today. Was it anything in particular that they were doing that made it tough to finish, or was it just one of those days of basketball where it just didn't seem like it was going in like it normally does?
Yeah, I don't really think that it was anything that they did. I mean, they threw guys at us and took gamble. They gambled, and we just weren't hitting shots.
More questions? Coach, can you ask us that?
Oh, I said, I don't think it was really anything that Maslin did to stop really our shooting. I feel like, I mean, it was one of those days. They threw bodies at us, and I think we just missed shots that we should have made.
Yeah, I feel like we definitely got the shots that we normally take and we normally want, but just didn't happen to fall and happen in our favor.
81 attempts for us has to be a world record.
Hey,
Shot 81 times.
Question for Elijah. Just, you know, saw you after the game. Are you in shock in a sense following this game? I mean, obviously you guys have won a ton of games and been really strong throughout the entire season, and this is a different experience for you guys.
I was definitely shocked. I mean, everybody's seen we had a 15-point lead. I feel like we had the momentum. We went on our run, and I feel like usually, like Coach said, we usually bury teams. And once we got to that point, I didn't think they were going to be able to stop us, but unfortunately, it didn't go in our favor.
Anybody else? All right,
Thank you so much. Thank you for everything you do for high school sports in Ohio.
handling the basketball at times. It was, the speed of it, you saw some passes coming out hot and fast. Once everybody calmed down, we kind of settled into a rhythm. And then the third quarter, they came out and threw a couple haymakers at us. We got down 15. We called timeout and kind of talked in the huddle nicely about our emotions and our attitudes and our effort. It just they didn't go very well for that moment. But actually, our challenge and our talk was that we've been here before. We've been down 14 against McKinley in the third quarter, 18 to CVCA in the fourth quarter. At different times throughout the year, we've had those deficits, and these guys have always responded well. The biggest thing that was scaring me is it looked like we were giving up on ourselves, and I just don't want them to do that. And these guys are winners. They're competitors, and they fought like heck to get back in it and beat a really, really, really good team.
All right, if you have a question, please raise your hand so we can get your question to the microphone.
Yeah, I got a question for you, Coach. So, of course, like you said, you're down 15 towards the third quarter, and you guys had a little bit of a timeout. What was full in depth? Like, what message did you give to the teammates, like about emotions and everything?
Well, I saw us doing this. I saw us kind of splitting up, and guys were behind the play, and guys were up there, and we were pointing fingers at each other, and it's there's a lot on the line. But we talked, yesterday and today. Somebody sent me a thing about sequoias. I guess they grow 300 feet tall, and they got a root system that's 12 feet underground, and they get intertwined. And we talked about that. Be rooted, be connected. So when one starts to sway or lean, the other roots pull it back in. So we had to get back rooted in that conversation during that timeout. But we just needed to catch our breath and refocus. You're welcome.
I mean, I guess, Joshua, does any play stand out? Does a couple plays stand out? I mean, it was such a flurry of.
Yeah, these guys are recapping it when we got back in the locker room, but X's block was big. Gio had a nice dunk. I kind of kicked myself because there was miscommunication with Braille and I on the 7 seconds left, end of the regulation play. But our biggest thing is we want to take the last shot. You don't want to give them a shot there. But I didn't communicate well with Braylon what we were trying to accomplish there. So, there's so many plays that are just – when I go back through it and try to watch it, I'm sure – there's just – Marcus played amazing. Isaiah gets dinged up, couldn't come back in. He's emotional on the bench. I'm glad we pick it up for him. So, then Jadis hit some big shots. I think to start – I always feel like the first team to score in overtime, it's an advantage. It just kind of relieves some of that stress. I've seen teams go scoreless for a while. So Jadis, this little step back that he hit some big ones for us, and that was – he's been doing it all year for us, and he did it again.
I just like to win. Everybody, I'm sure my team wanted to win, so I just do what's best for the team so we can take the championship home.
He's been doing that all year. You've seen him do it a couple times. Offensive efficiency. No, they rebounded like crazy, and we did a good job. Somebody told me downstairs that the last two games we held those teams like 7 of 63 or something up in the 3-point line. Two teams that shoot it well, and maybe it was just luck. Maybe God was helping. Felt like He's been good to us all year. But these guys, they sold out on defense, and that was our talk going into the into the tournament. Was we were getting in a habit of trading baskets with teams, and we were okay just outscoring teams 80-65, 80-72, and everybody talks about our offense because we were one of the top scoring teams, but we challenge these guys that defensively we got to be better to win at this level against these type of teams. And they bought in. We played, honestly, like the first two games of the tournament. I know you're playing lower seeds, but it's some of the best defense I've seen us play, and it's continued on from there. So these guys, they just play so well together, kind of floating around. I think Josh wrote something about it. They just kind of have a movement on defense, and I'd like to say it's design, but it's just them. They kind of figure it out, and we let them do their thing. We trust them, and it worked out for us.
When you guys put up 100 on O'Leary at that shot clock, did that almost give you more of a headache than anything else?
Well, those games is honestly as we get away from it. And that's what we did when we got down 15. We got away from the ball movement and the player movement. We had a couple of really good possessions out of that where multiple guys touched the basketball. We were pretty stale. Some of that's fatigue. mean, these guys just played a slugfest the night before. You know, I think we got a little tired. I saw it in back-to-back games we played this year. You get a little stale on the offensive end. But when we move, we're hard to guard. And these guys have so much skill and talent that when we're moving around and not just standing, we make it tough on the defense. So, yeah, I mean, that game, you know, that and the Ursuline game kind of shocked me because the quality of those teams.
For Braylon and X, I saw you guys right before tip. It looked like you were like already emotional. It was just that moment. Like, how hard was it to contain your emotions and kind of, you know, get ready to play a game like that with all that on the line?
You know, so we're real connected, and like we're all brothers. So we seen JT crying, seniors. We know this our last game, like win or lose with them. So, you know, just being able to grow up together with these guys, and then we finally at the stage, like that emotion just comes out. So, I mean, we just let it out, and then we just play ball.
Yeah, like he said, we just gotta let it out before. I mean, it's a great experience, and then just the thought of, like he said, it's the last time playing with your brothers. So, I mean, it hurts thinking about it, and especially before the game. But like he said, we go out and ball.
Coach, facing a tough North team who's coming into the game with the defending championship, what kind of mentality or what were you preparing to tell you guys about this?
There were some people out there questioning our path choice, going to Worcester and going through that bracket, and I think it prepared us. It prepared us to have to go through Euclid, who plays this style, physical, long, have to go through a really good Lima team, physical, strong, skilled, and then go through, you know, the defending champs, you know, great team. And I think that made us battle tested, but it also helped because when you're playing back to back and you're playing a team that has a similar style, we didn't have to change a lot, and we had, you know, less than 24 hours to get ready for a really, really good team. So, yeah, I don't know. Our approach was we can, you know, I'd rather play a team that wants to get up and guard like that than somebody who wants to slow it down and pack it in and make us, you know, make us jump shooters and, you know, kind of slow the pace of the game down. So not that we wanted to play them, you know, but given the choice, I mean, those teams have always presented something, you know, it's frustrating for, you know, us to try to get out and for a team that wants to get out and run and play full court. So, yeah, they made it hard on us. Madison will always be a football town, all right, with a basketball championship. But no, I grew up, my dad was a football coach there. My grandpa played for Paul Brown. I played for the Tigers, and these guys' dads all played for the Tigers. So we're not trying to change it. We're just trying to solidify ourselves as you know, one of our vision statements, our mission statement was to build a respected program that's respected throughout the state for not what we do, but how we do it. I think people could respect the way these guys grinded and fought, and I mean, I've known these two since I was coaching these guys in first and second grade with my son. He's like a second kid. He's been around us for so long. His dad and I've been coaching together. It's hard not to love them, even when they frustrate you. It's just special. The emotion they had got me emotional. I look up in the stands, and I mean, our town's special that way. They'll show up and support you, and you hear the TIGERS. I got chills. I had goosebumps almost every time out. I was just trying to enjoy it, and these guys made it more enjoyable the way we ended.
A couple little things. What happened to Isaiah? Did he hit his head on the floor? Did he get hit with an elbow?
I don't know. I know he was trapped. I was trying to call a timeout. I've been bad on that the last two games. I got shut out twice on it, but I didn't realize he was down. I was trying to yell at I was like, hey, I had timeout, and he said he didn't have the ball, which, you know, I don't know. I turned my head to see it. When I went out to see, he had some blood in his mouth. He's asking what happened. He got dinged pretty good. I'll tell you what, smallest dude on the court most nights. He plays with a big heart, and he plays tough. Yeah, so it was killing him not being out there, but he was shut down by our trainer, who we trust and love, Sam. I said, hey, he's done. Plug in Marcus, plug in Terrion, and that's our thing. We talk about strength in numbers, next man up, and they got his back, and yeah.
I thought that on the television broadcast you talked about the ball seemed slick. Did you guys, was it?
It was a brand new basketball. I think that happened in was it district or regional? They put the new ball out, and yeah, Worcester. And guys were having you could see both teams were having a hard time, you know, and it was pretty full. So yeah, that was a challenge, but it was was tough for both teams. Our guys, I think second half it seemed to adjust a little bit better. But yeah, it was slick, and humid in there too. So on top of everybody sweating, not as much as Xavier was. He's a little bit sweatier than everybody else, as hard as he plays. But yeah, the moisture was getting on the ball, and guys were having a hard time. Yes, sir.
The guard play of Tyson Perkins and Elijah McCree. What was the game plan? You guys got Tyson Perkins into foul trouble and then eventually fouling him out. Do you guys have a specific game plan to stop or contain the guard?
We know they like to get him in some flare actions, some zoom actions, off of screens, staggers, ball screens, and we just told the guys just give gap on the screens and give our other guards chasing a chance to get through. They were doing their thing, just kind of what we're doing. Like I said, it's not like you can X and O it. It's just kind of understanding. With our kind of look at our team, we're pretty interchangeable. Most guys can, with the exception maybe Marcus, go out and guard a guard. And I'll even say Zay will go down and guard a post sometimes. He gets matched up and can hold his own down there in front of the guy and do a good job. So it's just kind of like we said, just give space. And we showed them some film of what they like to do. And these guys did a great job the last couple of weeks here locking in and seeing the actions, talking through the switches. And I trust all of them guarding the ball. So they did a good job with that. Yes.
I know it's a little early to think about next season, but you guys have a lot of returning juniors and other guys coming back. Plan to get back here?
There's always a plan to get back here, but we saw how hard it was. I've talked to a lot of coaches, a lot of great coaches. You look at Den Tucci from Malvern and talk to him. This is last year, and he gets to his first Final Four. So we told the guys, don't take this for granted. It doesn't get easier. You got a bigger target on your back. We'll look at that in a couple of weeks here when we get back in the gym. But these guys got other sports to go play, and they'll be in AAU, and they got big things in their future. But it'll be hard to replace, our seniors. Jadis obviously hit some big shots for us this year, and Isaiah. I mean, he was they would find him sometimes if Braylon didn't have the ball. Like those two get us in the offense and defensively. Honestly, like I tell people last year, I think part of our getting stumped by Shaker was Isaiah not being available. He was hurt last year. He's such a good defender and he's a floor general in the offense and gets us in stuff. So, those guys are gonna be hard to replace. Yeah. Thank you. Appreciate you guys. Thank you.